Good afternoon, my children. I say you are my children because when I did this course called hair and dressing, beauty and fashion, none of you was born. So that's why I'm saying you are my children. It's a great honor, Emily, for us to be here this afternoon. Yes, I want to start with a light moment. I want to tell you I'm very old, and very old in only the years, but the body is very young. And I want to start by doing for you something we do very well at the Vera Beauty and Fashion College. I want to catwalk for you so that you know. And it's a light moment. I want you to be light, to freshen up and get the real thing, the real training, isn't it? The real career, because what we're about to tell you is what will put food for you on the table. And I want to do a catwalk for you, right? Who can challenge me with a catwalk? Wow, thank you. First of all, let's get how old I am. Who can guess how old I am? How old? Thank you. Now, I want to show you. I was listening to the speakers today. I think my voice, I'm a trainer, so you can hear me, right? Yes. Now, I was listening to some of your speakers today, and I was very excited that I said, I think you have given so much. That by the time you leave this place, you'll be so strong, you'll be so good, you'll be so powerful. You can knock any door. And I said, the only thing they did not tell you is that you can be who you want to be. And your dreams are varied. It doesn't matter what kind of dream you have, your dreams are varied. My dream, I dreamt many years ago, and I wanted to be a model. I want to make people I wanted to make people beautiful. I wanted to make people dress well. I wanted to be God's assistant. And you know, when I dreamt that dream, I was in standard 5. How many years are those ones? Very many years. Yeah. Back here? Yes. So as I was saying, I dreamt many years ago, and my dream came true, and that's why I'm saying your dreams are varied, and I wanted to be a model. But I never achieved that. I never became a model, but I've made so many of you become models, and that's my pride. And I started learning modeling at my own age. And that's why I wanted to show you how to catwalk at my own age. Isn't it? Yes. You see, at my 60 plus, I can still catwalk. So nothing can stop you achieving your dreams, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, today we are here coming from Vera Beauty and Fashion College with a sister school starting this year called Vera Technical. And Vera Technical was born out of Vera Beauty College because of the demand for training other courses apart from hairdressing, beauty, fashion, and hospitality courses. Because of that demand of adding more courses, we converted some of our schools to Vera Technical. So everyone is welcome to Vera Beauty and Fashion College, because now we have a technical school where everyone I can get something out of it. And to present to us this afternoon, I'm here with a team from our PR and marketing department. They are here to talk to you candidly about TVET courses. And they are going to be so candid. And before we do it, because we can't be able to project each and everything, behind there, we have ladies at the back who will come to you and they'll give you something which has been given to you with a lot of love from your sisters and brothers from Vera Beauty Orange. The students at Vera Beauty Orange have told me to bring you a gift. Please, when you receive that gift, know it's from your sister and your brother, right? It's a small one, but I appreciate it with all, it has come to you with all our love and our wishes that one day you put food on the table because you took the right career, which will help you to prepare you to be an entrepreneur. And that's why we are here today. So as my team is putting together the presentation, I will ask my team at the back very quickly to pass, we have the brochures and we have that small gift from the students. When you get the brochure, as the presentation is going on, you might come across a question or two you want to ask. It will be easier for you to do that. So my team, you can hand over those gifts to the students, to the group as I present to you the presenter of this afternoon. And the first one to do the presentation is Caroline Karangi, who is from PR and marketing team from Vera Beauty and Fashion Orange. Karibuni tena, and I hope you are going to benefit from our presentation. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. I can see you're very busy with the gift. I don't know whether to wait until it's distributed first. Yeah? Just a few minutes so I can ask Kawera and team, please let's do it quickly so that we can start the session. I'm about to bore you for about 30 minutes, so I think the best I can do is allow you to have the gift with you, isn't it? Are you agreeing I'm going to bore you? All right then. So let's give it 5 minutes to do that, and then we can start. As you've been told, my name is Caroline Karangi in the PR department. And joining me, she'll introduce herself later, is Wanja Wathingira, okay, who's also in our department, and she'll take a few minutes in the middle of the presentation to talk to us, okay?
Let's not just concentrate on the gift. I think we look at the brochure. Remember, we are looking at the kind of courses. We are exposing you to so many courses, so it will be up to you. So the concentration should be on the brochure. So let me see. We need to move very fast.
I think we can start now. Let's try and First of all, let me take this opportunity to thank the organizers for inviting Vera Beauty College to be part and parcel of this noble occasion. And to also say that we've been watching you, and you know that you've come through a journey. And if I can get your attention, please. All right? I think let's settle down. All right?
Mamas, let's listen.
Yes.
So that we proceed. Everyone will get. If you don't get, please just put your hand up.
Yes.
In silence.
Yeah. All right. You know, the challenge of coming towards the end of a day is that some of you are already very tired, but I'm glad that we had one of you take us through an energizer, and I hope you're feeling adequately energized for this session. So our topic, or what we've been asked to talk about, is on the education, that's specifically on fashion, beauty, all right, and the other courses that we offer that are part and parcel of TVET programs. So our approach, if I can get your attention, please. There's a lady there. I think you'll get your gift in due time. Our focus for the presentation was really to talk about career development, and specifically in this area and some of the courses you're going to be exposed to. And more specifically, their place, all right, in the world of work. So let me take this opportunity and also welcome you to the world of work, because you're just starting your careers, all right? And some of the decisions you make right now will influence who you become for the rest of your life. True or false? All right? So it's very important you make the right choices. And even as we go into the programs that we offer in our college, it was important to lay that foundation. And I know many people have talked to you about this, so that you can see exactly where you plug in. All right? And to start us off with this presentation, I thought it was important to talk about how exactly the world of work operates, and what were some of the factors that change some of the choices you make in your careers, all right? And what are some of these things that actually influence the direction your careers you go? So the technician that is organizing for me the presentation, maybe we can start. And if you look at that picture, all right, it shows you a number of young men, all right, who are taking off, all right? And what that depicts is that we are all in a race. And this race is called our life, all right? And one of the things that determines how we finish that race is the things that we are making a determination of right now, which is what courses do I take, what career path do I embark on? And it's important to know, because you're right at the beginning of this race, to know yourself, all right, and make what? The right decision as you move on. Now, in this race, all right, these gentlemen are on, is affected by quite a number of factors, like I said before. And these factors are actually brought about by changes, okay, in this life that we call the world of work. And I don't know if any of you knows what that depicts. What do you think that picture depicts? Who can venture a guess? Anyone with a guess as to what that could be? What could be the meaning of that picture? All right? Okay, because of time, let me go ahead and tell you. If you remember a long time ago, before the technology as we know it and before life as we know it, if people wanted to get information about what is happening in the village, somebody would climb a tree, isn't it? And they'll see what's going on from the top of a tree. And I always venture a guess that there was somebody who actually had a job to do exactly that, every so often climbing up what? The tree. But then we've come from that world, and we improved a bit. Now, if you wanted information or to communicate, there was a contraption that looks like that. And I know majority of you will not even have an idea of what that is, because it happened way before your time. But I think just the word telephone tells you what that is, isn't it? And these telephones, some of you have watched some of the old movies. This telephone, especially the old they're called westerns. This phone movie back there. So it would be in the middle of a desert, and people would actually drive to go and do what? And make a call, all right? Then we improved. Again, these are changes taking place, isn't it? And the demand for now it meant what? People actually queued to do what? To make a call. Again, none of you were born during that time, isn't it? And there'll be a toilet inside as depicted by that picture, yeah? All right? And then the one on the right is actually another improvement of the same what? Of the same technology. Again, it comes with changes, isn't it? And by the time we're getting to having the phone in our hands, again, it went through another history, isn't it? I think majority of you found it in the second last picture, isn't it? I don't think you actually used the first one there. But trust me, the person who used that phone was very ahead in technology, isn't it? Because you can see where we are coming from. To the point where it's actually in your hand, it means that technology has done what? Has advanced. For some of us, when mobiles were becoming a reality, it was, I think, in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. And the phones were this huge, okay? And costing almost to the tune of 250,000 shillings to own a phone that big. I think it's like the number 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe number 4 there, yeah, in that line of pictures, okay? But right now, what we have, and I think majority of you have phones, isn't it? Yeah? It's a tiny thing in your hand, and you can do so much with it. Again, changes. If you talk to the guy in the first picture, all right, he would have told you, what, a phone that I can actually send money with? They would have thought you're crazy, isn't it? But right now, we can do so much more with our phone. Why? Because change happens. And change will come from very many sectors. And even as we embark in our world of work, like we call it, and we choose our careers, you need to have that at the back of your mind. That change will always do what? Change will always happen. And how you succeed in the careers you choose, in the course that you choose, will be determined by how quickly you do what? You embrace change. And some of the reason change will happen, you will be forced to change, either by the regulation. In fact, TVET now is changing, isn't it? And some of the colleges offering the vocational courses you're about to embark on are changing because the regulatory framework has done what? Has changed. The other reason would be the customers you're going to be serving, because some of you are going to be employers, isn't it? Some of you are going to be employed, but the customers and the changes in what the customers want will determine how you change. And your choice of career will also improve or grow depending on what is forcing those things to change. Then technology. And I think from the examples we've just witnessed, they are driven by technology. All right? Then there's competition. All right? Our competition now doesn't happen from the shop next to you. Competition is coming from even China, isn't it? How many of you have seen Chinese selling even maize on the side of the road? All right? China is here, and it is here to give us competition. All right? So they are now a reality in the environment that we work. And the last one is, of course, the economic environment. So many factors in the economy will make sure that we change. And one of the things you're told is that the only thing that is constant is what? Is change. And why this is important is because whatever career you choose, whether it's hairdressing, all right, engineering, nail technology, you grow in that chosen career because of the change that will be a constant in your lives. And the sooner you realize that, the better you're going to become in terms of your career and what puts food to your table, as Mrs. Kamunge talked about earlier. And that's actually exactly what is happening. Shift happens, change happens, shift happens. And this is how shift happens, okay? It happens because of even the size, and size actually does matter. And to give us this example is that if you think about China, if you're 1 in a million, if you're in Kenya and you say you're 1 in a million, you're so good, you're 1 in a million, that's big, isn't it, in your brain? But when you're talking about 1 in a million in China, how many people are you talking about? What's the population in China? Yeah? Sorry? Anyone knows? Come on, we need to start reading, about what's happening in the global world. Give me a guess. You seated here. How many people do you think there are in China? 1? 1 billion? That's close. Another guess? 1 point? It's actually 1.3 billion and growing, okay? And this is after they had been limited to how many children they can have, But now I think that has been opened up. So 1 in a million in China there are about 1,300 people who are exactly like you if you're 1 in a million. Okay? And this keeps on getting worse. Okay? 25% of the population in China have the highest IQ is about 25%. All right? 25% of 1.3 billion is about 300 million, which is greater than North America. Remember, size also is affecting these changes we are talking about, because then they are able to do much, much more than we do with our numbers. Again, this is the reality you're getting yourself into at this point in time, all right? Translation, they have more kids who are to do the census, but roughly? Sorry, I didn't hear that. For rolling out technology after technology. If you're talking about nail technology, before we used to go and just apply Q-tip. These are gel polish. Gel polish 10 years ago was not a reality, isn't it? But there's somebody already defining the next level of technology in China. If they're having over 300 million geniuses, you can imagine what that means for us who are competing in the same what? In the same environment, okay? Did you know, all right, the top 10 in-demand jobs in 2018 were non-existent in 2008? Do you know that? Even speaking just of the nails, which is in our industry, 10 years ago, did we have gel polish? All right? Even we did have gel polish, not to the extent that it is there. And even the technicians have had to learn a new what? Skill on how to apply what? Gel polish. The hair that we put on our heads, isn't it? It was, in 2008, was totally different from what we have right now. If someone talked to you in 2008 about owning a wig costing, how much are they costing now? 40,000, 100,000 shillings, you'd have gone crazy, isn't it? But now there are wigs costing over 100,000 shillings, but also requiring a certain set of skills to put that together. Are you seeing how this is just out of this world? And that's what you're getting yourself into, all right? Did you know we are currently preparing students for jobs that don't exist? Do you know that? All right? By the time they are finishing school, okay, they'll be using technologies that haven't been invented. If you look at that picture, imagine 20 years ago. How old are you guys? 18. Let's talk about when you're born. All right? 18, 19, right? 16? All right? 16 years ago, I'm sure there's someone who passed on. If they woke up right now and saw the kind of technology we have, they would literally just, go back again, all right, to the dead because of how advanced we've become, all right? And in order to solve problems, you don't even know are problems yet. So some of the problems for which your skills are going to be sorting, we don't even know if they're problems right now, okay? And so the importance of making sure that whatever your chosen career is, know that it's not going to be static. It's going to continuously do what? Want to be advanced, all right? And did you know we are living in exponential times? What that means is about 40 exabytes, which I'm told is 4.0 times 10 to the power of 19 of unique new information will be generated worldwide this year, if not more. Every day there's new information going on there, on the internet. True or false? Yeah? More information is being added. We're having more and more data. I don't think there's anything that you cannot Google and find. All right? Because there are constantly new information being added in our systems. All right? That is more than the previous 5,000. About 5,000 years ago, we did not have as much advancement as we are seeing right now. And because of that, it puts us in a very unique position. All right? One, very exciting times, but also one that requires us to actually approach it with not just caution, but just be prepared so that you can actually fit in the world of work that you're talking about right now. The amount of new technology information is doubling every year. Every year. All right? The information that we have for even just M-Pesa, all right? You can imagine how much what data Safaricom has. I'm told some of their employees the other day were actually put in because they shared some of the data with the betting companies. You remember that story, yeah? Okay? And that data is actually gold right now, all right? For some of you who may be starting 4-year programs or even 2-year programs, it means that half of what you learn in your first year of study, okay, will be outdated by the time you do what? You finish. True? All right? So it means you have to constantly do what? To upgrade. I used to work in a technology company. Why? Because they're the ones with the most current what? Of information. That's what they're learning, because they're constantly learning new languages, isn't it? So it made sense to employ somebody who's finishing school rather than somebody who has done what? Who has work experience. So what that meant is that the training, which was actually the technical training that we needed to employ even at the places of work, needed to also up its game so that we can be as relevant as possible. So today you'll be starting your hairdressing. By the time you're finishing your course, all right, you need to constantly read, constantly make sure you're learning what is new in that particular industry. And that's important. And the pressure is also on us, because it means that our trainers have to continuously do what? Upgrade their skills. So by the time you're coming, as much as possible, we're catching up with what? With the new technology. Okay? But that shows that by the year 2049, a computer that will go maybe for about 100,000, which is about $1,000, will exceed the computational capabilities of the entire human species. Do you believe that? Can you see the size of computers we have right now? Compare them with the size of computers we had years ago, even with you, all right? So the smaller it is, the more it's able to do, all right? So what does it all mean for us? Why am I giving you all this information, all right? Shift does what? Shift does happen. And it means that you have to, even as you step out now, for those of you who have started, for those of you who are choosing what to do, it means you start with the knowledge that shift does what? Does happen. And you have to continuously build yourself to become good at what you choose to do. Now you know, all right? Now you know. And the beauty is, we are not talking to you 10 years, all right, later. We are talking to you at the beginning of what? Of your career. So choose right. And that's what's important from where we stand, all right? Now, the skills and competency-based training is becoming a big thing. That's why TVET is revamping itself, all right? And that's why it's important for us to talk to you at this point in time. And what the realization has been, not just to Kenya, but the world over, is that, number one, youth are the driving force of any economic growth, all right? And if you're trained properly to your full capacity, you play a very critical role in the economy, all right? Now, how do you ensure you prepare yourself so that you're not just ready for your career, but you're ready to be employed, to employ? Because there are many people who finish school, but they are still tamarking years later, isn't it? So how do you make sure you have the necessary skill, all right, to make sure that when you're done, you're actually being able to utilize it almost immediately? That help gets their money within 1 year, all right, and you're not tamarking that year later. Is to make sure that, A, like I said earlier, you choose right, okay, but also that you continuously grow your skill. Now, when you possess a specialized skill set, of course, it increases your employment opportunities. And the beauty is, in as much as not many people look upon TVET kind of training in a strong way, the reality is coming to this country that that's where the money is. How many of you have heard that in America, plumbers actually drive the biggest cars? How many of you have heard that story? It is actually true. People with special and technical skills are actually valued more out there in the economies that we can see have grown. If you go to Germany, the technicians are the ones who are behind the Mercedes you see, isn't it? And those big cars. It's not PhD holders. It's actually that technicians who's so good with the braking system, yeah? They've developed a state-of-the-art machine. How much do we pay for a Mercedes compared to a Toyota? Much higher, because they've honed those technical skills, all right? So today, even entry-level roles require that. Even if you're getting a job as a receptionist, you have to go through customer care training. The employment opportunities become wider and wider, all right? So that course you choose, place of talent. See, they say talent is, an energizer. There's someone here who's taking us through a vote of thanks. It means that you have something in you that is already innate, isn't it? I don't know what your strength is. I'm sorry, nakuonea, but it's because you are right here in front of us. What is your talent? Sorry? Reading. Kusoma. Nod if it's yes. Yeah? Get all the knowledge, but how do we utilize it? How about the gentleman there next to the overhead projector, right in front? What do you think your innate talent is? Sorry? Yeah? And you need to believe that you're going to be the next Messi. I can't read it from here, I'm too old. Yeah? Yes, you. What's your talent? Yeah? Sorry? Playing football as well. All right. This is good. All right? So what you're saying is that while talent is innate, you still need a skill, isn't it? You're not going to be a Messi with the skill you have right now. Okay? Maybe you have to join 1 or 2 clubs to make sure that you build your skill level, isn't it? And the same can be said for all the skills. We can be a fantastic with kushuka nywele, but you still need to go through your training at Vera to hone your skills, isn't it? All right, and that's why we're saying talent is innate, but skills are what? Are acquired. You have to go to a school to acquire your skills. And any skill that you acquire is your capital. You know what a capital is, isn't it? And the other thing we are saying is that whatever you learn, the skills have to be refined, your skill has to be improved, your skill has to be adapted to the work environment that you find yourself in and the new realities. Remember about the shift happening, eh? So it's important that you continuously improve yourself. I'm sure that nail technician that does my nails, yeah, her skill level was at a different level 10 years ago. But now I'm able to go and pay her a lot of money, all right? Every month because of that skill that she presents to me. Now, for example, the best social media influencers. Who are the social media influencers in Kenya? Give me some names. Don't say Huda Monroe, but who else? Vera Sidika. Seriously? Okay, fine. Yeah, Vera Sidika. Who else? Yeah? I didn't hear. Piera McKenna. Did I hear that? Okay. All right. Some of them stay on top of the Kardashians, I think. Those are the ones you guys are familiar with. All right. They stay on top, whether you want to like them or hate them. They stay on top because they're always learning, all right, and introducing the audiences to new what? Experiences. So ukikuja ufundishwa kushuka in one direction, 1 year later you're still doing it the same way, shauri yako. Okay? Customers will be going to somebody else. So to stay on top, you have to continuously do what? Improve your skills. Now, most of these, the guys who are the social influencers, guess what? Their training is actually from a TVET-driven, what is it called? Training. Majority of them, because they're either in fashion, they're in hair, isn't it? They're in beauty, they're in music. Some of the social influencers that we follow like crazy are in some of these areas. Writing, I know you're reading, you like reading, but I hope you translate it into writing, yeah? Because that's how the money comes, all right? Photography, and you can see quite a number of the guys here, the technicians that are making sure that our presentations are being broadcast, all right? And so on and so forth. But how about other industries? When you talk about engineering, in the motor, in the aeronautical field, how many of you follow Formula One? I'm sure most of the guys here follow Formula One. Yeah, I can see someone at the corner there. Do you know that one driver, Hamilton? How many guys do you think support him when he goes to a pit stop? How many? 10? Someone with a big voice, please tell me, how many do you think they are? 12. 12, eh? How many of them are PhD holders? None. What are they? They're technicians. Are we together? And they've honed their skill in that particular. Why is he going away after telling us all those things? Can you please come back? All right? So what we are saying is that every industry you can think about, what drives economies is actually training that you'll find in the TVET what? Driven courses. So you're actually in the right place. I wish some of us would have gotten the kind of experience you're having right now because we'd be very far with our career choices. All right? So even in times of recession, and that's the point I've put there in the slide, the one thing people will find money for, even in a crisis, is your hair, isn't it? If you have a car, someone chooses not to go to a lawyer, I'll choose not to bank. Profound. Has been brought to the, we touched on that. And we actually had a very big vision. Someone says actually in the 60s, our economy was like this with Singapore. And it's because of some of these great ideas we had that sort of died along the way, but thank God we are picking them up again. Eh? So in 1967, that brilliant idea came, Because support winter, the teaching the new curriculum, okay? As in class 1, and in the last 1 year or 2, they are growing that kind of training. If you go to here, Dubai, that as it looks right now. So you can see you're in the right place, all right? And some of the things we're going to talk to you about, Vera, are actually hinged on the importance this has had in the economy that we're looking at. At policy level, obviously you've been told about the size of TVET system being increased, improving the attractiveness of TVET to young people, and that's why you're being encouraged to actually embark your careers in that area, and centers of excellence actually being established to make sure that the TVET system produces the right caliber of graduates, all right? And of course, the trainer of trainers like Vera Beauty College, their honors is to make sure that they actually produce the right candidates by having the right trainers that you find at the colleges, all right? And so that is the background with regards to why this is necessary and why Vera actually places their courses because of the realities that I've shared with you, all right? Any questions so far? Or is it too much information flying? Any question? Point of clarity? All right? Yes. Yeah.